The story of the Traveling Wilburys is so unbelievable. It sounds like something straight out of a musical fairy tale. Just imagine trying to get any one of these legends together for a project. It seems impossible. But when George Harrison is your ringleader, anything can happen. After all, who's going to say no to a Beatle with a brilliant idea? The real magic of the Wilburys wasn't just getting these icons in a room, it was how they worked together. The key to every single session was understanding each other's strengths. There were no ego battles over who wrote the best line or who should sing what part. It was a pure collaborative process. Each songwriter instinctively knew whose voice would best suit a particular song. If a tune needed Bob Dylan's signature gravelly tone, he sang it. If it called for Harrison's unwavering conviction, he took the lead. They did whatever it took to serve the song. This natural, almost effortless creativity is what defines them. Think about their first hit, Handle with Care. The idea literally came from a cardboard box in George Harrison's garage. He saw the Handle with Care label and a song was born. From there, the rest of the band just started pitching in lyrics, finding clever ways to fit them into the melody. It was that simple, that organic. But if there was one person who truly anchored the group, who was the beating heart of the Traveling Wilburys, it was Roy Orbison. Sure, George Harrison was the mastermind, the one who brought everyone together, and Jeff Lynne was the production genius, the one twisting the knobs and making it all sound incredible. But Roy Orbison, he was the one who left everyone, even these rock and roll giants, completely. These guys had all reached the pinnacle of success. They had conquered the charts and played two massive crowds in their own careers. Yet, from Harrison to Dylan to Tom Petty, they all knew to bow down to the sheer majesty of Roy Orbison's talent. Whenever he walked into the studio, there was a sense of awe. They were never a band driven by egos, but even Roy, in a moment of candid honesty, knew his place. The legendary session drummer Jim Keltner once told him, Roy, the only reason this thing is really happening is because of you. George wanted you to do this. And Roy, with a smile, replied, yeah, we're really having fun here. Well, I'm the only real singer in the band. The other boys are all stylists. Now, calling George Harrison Bob Dylan. And Tom Petty stylists instead of real singers might sound like heresy to some. But when you think about it, Orbison had a point. He possessed a voice of almost operatic power, a booming, emotional instrument that was simply unmatched, while Harrison, Petty, and Dylan wrote and sang some of the most beautiful songs in history. Nobody could touch the vocal brilliance of Roy Orbison. When you hear him on classic tracks like Crying, or on the Wilburys' own masterpiece, Not Alone Anymore, you understand. He put everyone else to shame, not out of competition, but simply by being himself. The entire Wilburys project was a labor of love for everyone involved. There were friends making music for the sheer joy of it, but looking back, it feels like there was a deeper purpose. It was about giving Roy Orbison one final, triumphant chapter in his incredible career. Of course, no one could have known how little time he had left. His sudden passing, just as the album was taking off, was a devastating blow. But in those final days, as Tom Petty later recalled, the only thing Roy wanted to talk about was how wonderful the band was, how much fun he was having. And that's the ultimate legacy of the Traveling Wilburys. It goes beyond the fantastic songs and the iconic images of these five legends hanging out with their guitars. What they created, with a few chords and some clever lyrics, was an infectious sense of pure, unadulterated joy. They weren't just they were a testament to friendship, collaboration, and the timeless power of a great song. They reminded the world, and perhaps even themselves, that music could still be fun, spontaneous, and utterly magical. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, look back at music history. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories. See you next time.